Okay. Okay, so it is time for some more game development in Z. So last time we attempted to make a main menu and do mouse instructions, but we ran into the nightmare that is trying to kind of create some words with a bitmap, but we got there eventually. In particular, we created the following words: start game. And similarly, this time we just want to create some kind of like the words that say instructions, and then once we have that with the instructions, we'll then just make a menu that actually just says left click does this, right click does this, but just with pictures. And then once we've done it with pictures, we will have finished this, and then we get to like the most fun part, which is actually making the levels. Okay, so let us begin with this. Okay, so we're going to use GIMP again, but GIMP cannot handle QOI files. So we'll convert the letters to a PNG file. And then let's just manually create letters of the alphabet that say instructions with this using GIMP. And then in the next project, we'll write a sensible small bit of compact code that does all of this automatically for us. Yeah, but it would take more than 10 hours to do that. I'd rather just spend an hour manually doing this so we can get this project done and move on to the really fun cube game that I want to do. Okay, so yeah, let's just include the words instructions. So let's crop this to here. Okay, let's see. Instructions only includes all of these letters. We'll save this temporarily. We'll delete it once we've actually got the bitmap we want. And then, yeah, let's just start copying letters. So, well, like something weird has happened though, and the weird thing is that some of these things seem to be like bigger than a single pixel. Actually, it is fine. It's fine. I know, cat. It's all right. So we'll just create a bunch of layers and then literally move all of these around. This will be done. And what's the shortcut to create a new layer? Shift. LRM time. How do I create a new layer from a floating image in GIMP? Control H. Okay. No, that's what we did last time and doesn't do it. We'll just press buttons then. Okay, so this will be over soon. The pain will be over soon. IN S in, oh, ST is here. We don't even need to separate these. Oh, if only U was here, then we could just select these three at once. Okay, but alas. Instruct. got the T, instruct I O ON, both of these here. Instruct, okay, what have we got so far? Yeah, in, the U seems to be missing for some reason. Pick a layer, no, we want to do move the active, this is why it failed. We want to do move the active layer. Okay. This is not good. Like, I'm so clearly a programmer and not someone who does all this art stuff. This is so inefficient. Okay, C. Okay, in. Okay, we need an R. Rectangle. Like, yeah, if anyone in chat knows an efficient way of doing this, please let me know. So yeah, we want to spare the world instructions. So in struct T I. We now just need an O, and then I think we're done. So O is here. Okay, and then I think we should be good now. So now if we move all of these around by choosing pick the layer. In okay, instruct now we need another T. Let's just copy it again from here. Instruct new layer, instruct, and then we need the I, which is we can duplicate this layer. One of these duplicate this one, surely. Instruction. We need an N. Is this which is the N? Duplicate. And then move. Okay, then we need to. We're gonna have to make the image wider. I'm like spelling this wrong as well. There should be an R in between these, right? Where's select? Select, like, can I select all of these layers? Yeah, I am missing the R. Okay, so we need to make this image wider and then fill in the R. So your image, where is it? Not canvas size, I guess canvas size. Width, make it like 150. Okay. Yeah, this is what happens when you spell things wrong. Okay. So that was right. And then we just need another S. Rectangle. I will be so happy if the need arises to do this again in the next project, to just replace all of this with code. This is painful. Okay. This layer we can delete. Instructions. No, I want to delete this layer. This one. Okay, now we can do this like crop to content option. Okay, save, and then we just need to add in a background layer that, now we can delete this one, a background layer that everything is black. So we want the foreground color to the bottom here, save, and then we can crop this one final time to here. Okay. Okay, we can now move on. Export as instructions. Yeah, .png. Whatever. Export. Let's convert this to a QRI file. Magic K instructions.qri. Let's actually check. Okay, we can get rid of this. Let's check that nothing weird happened in converting it. Start game instructions.qri. Oh, something weird did happen. Oh wait, why did I rename it to this something? What did I just rename that to? Something weird. Okay, instructions. Oh, I called it like instructions. No, instructions.qri. Okay. Zig image viewer instructions.qri. Okay, and here it is. This is what we want. Great. Let's just add this. So, I guess we'll just add in instructions.qri. Added text instructions. Just for me to just as a sanity check, I want to make sure that this is spelled correctly, right? The only way I'll be satisfied with this is actually INS. Yeah, this is fine. This is spelled correctly. Okay. Okay, so then if we were to delete stuff, what would we clear out? We'd clear out all of this. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, be gone. Okay. Now we can actually get onto making the menus, thank goodness. So, zig out. Zig out bin this thing. Wow, it only took us like 1 hour 20 minutes to write out names of menu buttons. Efficient use of time. Basically this button here, I want to just have the word start game, and then I want another button that says instructions. Okay. Let us import these stuff and do it all. Okay, so the bitmap for the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, we did it here. This name is now a bit confusing, so let's rename this from bitmap to just like 1, 2, 3, 4 bitmap, since that's what it should be. Right. If we go into bitmap stuff and do the 8514 bitmap QRI, yeah, it's literally just these when I can resize it, yeah, it's literally just these numbers. Yeah, so let's do move 8514 bitmap to like 8414, maybe just like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 bitmap 8514 85 QOI. Okay. We'll just replace that. And now we're going to need to make space for the other files as well. Make space to decode the 1, 2, 3, 4 and start game and instructions bitmaps at comp time. Okay, so we're gonna have to rename these as well. So this is the bitmap 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the bitmap start game, and we'll make this the bitmap in. Oh, what am I doing? Start game instructions and then here we want this to, what are they called again? We should name this consistently. These aren't really bitmaps though. These are just like, this truly is a bitmap because we are splitting this one up into into all of these things. These ones we're not splitting up. We're just drawing the entire thing. So therefore they should have a different name. Yeah, maybe I can just put this up here. What should we call these? Maybe just like text. Text start game, text instructions. And then, yeah, so let's move start game to text start game QRI. Move instructions to text instructions.qri. And then, yeah, we'll just call this text start game.qri. And then text instructions.qri. Okay, and then we've embedded these files, so then we need to create space so that create space for these at comp time so that at runtime they'll be decoded and then put into memory. So how are we doing this with the original one? We're saying define some header, pass this at comp time, get these widths, and then just make an array of pixels of that, and then we're doing something here with bools as well. I forget exactly why we did this part, but okay. We can surely replicate this behavior. So we can just say text header, qi.comptime header parser text start game, and instead of this one being bitmap, this should now be bitmap 1, 2, 3, 4. let's just replace every instance of bitmap with bitmap 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, no, yes, 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 no, oh, what's this one doing? Load at runtime the bitmap and convert to an array of bools. Yeah, yeah, doing that. And then, not sure why this is, this debug isn't commented, but okay. Bitmap pixel color. Okay, yeah. We want those ones. Okay. What was this D print you saw that shouldn't have been, that shouldn't be happening? Oh, that's why whenever we run it, all of this stuff appears. It was because of this line. I don't know why it wasn't registering for me that this stuff was just weird behavior and shouldn't have been happening. Okay. We inadvertently solved that output error. Okay. So now we want to replicate this with this other stuff. So const text header width, and then this one. Text header is not specific enough. I think if we just did like start game header, no. We'll keep everything consistent. Yeah, everything consistent. So for this one here, we want to replace bitmap 1, 2, 3, 4 with text start game. And then this one here, replace, okay, Emacs didn't like that. Replace bitmap 1, 2, 3, 4 with text instructions. Yep. Okay, and then likewise, we want to make space for these. So I'm thinking now if we need this bool option. This boolean seemed unnecessary, but useful in that we can then just really easily specify what the colors of these things should be. We'll keep going on. Okay. So this time we do want to replace all of these ones with the same text instructions, but these ones here we want to replace with text game text start game. Okay. Now we've made space for those, so we should use them. And then, okay, how are we going to use, actually, before we start using these Boolean stuff, let's just render these on the screen. So we'll comment out these bool parts, and hang on. So we've done all of this stuff. We now need to use these. We now need to load these in at runtime. If Emacs will let me. Okay, so how did we fill in the bitmap pixels at runtime? We did it here. Load at runtime the 1234 bitmap, convert to variables as well, and the text files, and then we'll say since when do we convert something to this array of rules? Maybe we're not using this wait. If we weren't using this bitmap bools, we would get a compile error. Where are we using this? Oh, wait, I named it something different. Is it just like bitmap? Maybe we don't even need this Boolean stuff anymore. How does the rendering work again? So we would only need this bitmap when we're actually rendering the tiles. How does this draw tile function work? From memory, we just call some texture. Yeah, this draw texture. And how did this work again? We call this raylib function. Okay, where we're passing in the reference to the texture. When do we set the texture pointer? Numerals textures. Load texture from images. Okay, and then when did we set? Since when did we set this stuff? Oh yeah, so this whole Boolean stuff was redundant, I see. So we simply just look at the pixels that we've loaded from our QOI file, and then we just say if this satisfies something, set some other pixel. Okay. This maybe I should have done this before I started replicating this. Anyway. Okay, these entire Boolean things are redundant and can be got rid of, which is great. Yeah, good. Get rid of all of these things. Let's just align all of these. Okay, and then the rest we still do kind of need though. Yeah. Okay. So now that's done. We need to get back to loading these things again. So what was our load? What was our to decode this? We would call our QOI decoder. And what is? It was this part here. This is called QOI to pixels. Okay. So now we want to also do QOI to pixels. These other things instead of bitmap 123. Now it's text start game. Then text start game width. It's kind of weird that I haven't packaged these up together in in some kind of structure. I mean, I guess. Like, this seems like unnecessary code. Why am I doing this? We'll continue with this, but is it something like the, like in the, let's just check out why this is the case. Oh, it's because in the QRI specification those are 4-byte unsigned integers. But for whatever reason we're using U64s. I guess because we're multiplying them together and the result might be greater than 32 bits. Okay. Okay, so TX. The text start game width times the text start game height. And then bitmap, not bitmap, text start game pixels is what we want. Text start game pixels. Okay, and then similarly we want to do the same line but now with start game replaced with instructions. We know the Emacs command for this. What is it? C upper. Haha. And then okay. Okay, so now those get decoded at runtime, and then let's draw them. So we could draw them with this draw text. Oh, actually, before we draw them in textures, we need to convert them into this raylib image format, and then convert the raylib image into the raylib texture. So if we go to the bitmap 1, 2, 3, 4, how did we do this? We had already created some globals for these, so let's also make some globals for oh no, we didn't do it in globals, we did it here. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. I guess we don't actually need the images. All we care about at the end is the texture. And so similarly, if we like init the textures in the main loop, they're not going to go out of memory. So this is an okay place to do them as well. So we can just say variable start game image is undefined, and likewise instructions image. Okay, and then we're going to put stuff into these images. Oh, whoa, why do we need to do this? I guess this was just to initialize the... Oh no, this wasn't to initialize the image. This was to set the dimensions of these things. So we want to do something similar. We want to say... set dimensions of initialize the images. So we want to say start game image is equal to rl raylib gen image color, and then the dimensions of stuff. What are these dimensions? Well, the width is going to be start game text, start game width. Oh, it's raylib, so we need to convert it back to U32. Oh, lame. When we compile it, we'll figure that out. But we'll do it now. I think we have to use like the truncate. Is it like at truncate? Okay, so the compiler needs to kind of know what it should be truncating it to. So maybe the compiler will automatically know. Truncate this, and instead of doing this, I could literally just copy the native, like the value for what it should be. I'll do it like this anyway. Let's see if it works. Truncate text start game height. Then RLC transparent, and likewise we want to do the same thing but with instructions image. Now this is instructions game width, instructions game height, and then those should be set up. Okay, and then we want to create textures from fill in the start game and instructions images and create their textures. So now we want to look through Zig image viewer text. Now we want to like iterate through the pixels of this, and I think just not copy them over, but set what we want the colors in the actual game to look like. So well, what do we want these colors to look like? I think we just want the text of these to be black and the background to be transparent. So yeah, and I think it's the logic will be the same as this. Like if the very first entry of the pixel is 255, then it means the pixel is the pixel is white. So then turn it to black, and then otherwise it's if it's not white here, it's black. So then we'll make it kind of like transparent. So the logic should basically be the same. So now we want to say for 0. I want to write this. I want to write the following from 0 to text start game width. But I think the compiler might whine at me, might whinge, because this is a U64 instead of like a U in size. We'll figure out what to do. The compiler whinges. For 0 to text text start game height. Capture that as a J. Then then we want to say here we'll copy paste this. I just want to say, I don't even need, like, even this itself is excessive. Let's just say like pixel color is that thing, and then where do we use this line? Oh, here it is. This should just be pixel color. Okay. So we want to do a similar thing here. We just want to say, when we're going through this, in the text start game pixels, okay, let's just say this. Let's just like figure out how to correctly display one of these, and then we'll move on to the other one. So let's just focus on this start game stuff, and then we'll come back. So yeah, for the text start game pixels, we want to do the text start game width. Again, instead of we're using xi and yi are more sensible. What's this, like times 10 numeral I? This was because this is like a for loop with 3 statements with 4 nested loops. We're just doing 1 here. We're just doing 2 here. So yeah, just obtain the pixel from the stuff we've decoded, then examine it, make it either black or transparent, and then in the image that we defined above, this like start game image, in that image, incast all of these to the appropriate raylib stuff. Why is this xi plus 5? It should just be xi. Change it to that color. Okay. So now we have that image, and then we need to create a texture from it. So now we say, this load texture from the image. Now we want to say, we'll make a global Okay, textures, and let's just say variable text start game. This will just be an rl.texture2d, which is currently undefined. So here we want to say this text start game is now going to equal load texture from image start. Can I do start game image, or do I need a reference to it? Let's cheat sheet. No, open this please. Why is Windows doing this? Okay. I don't think it did that before. We want load texture from image. Yeah, we just need an image, not a reference to it. Okay. So load texture from image. Start game image. Okay. Now that should be loaded, and then we want to draw something with it. So now, just to check everything's actually working. What I saved in the registers? Apparently not. Let's just place this somewhere, like place it in the top right. So, draw a menu, start game. Okay. So now we want to say, we need to use the same function that we could draw tile with, which is draw texture. Okay, so then we can do start text start game. Did I even call it a texture? No, I called it something really vague. Text start game. Text start game texture. Let's go back to where we loaded this. Text start game texture. Okay, draw texture, text start game, and what other arguments do we need to? The position and the length. So if we're drawing this in the bottom, let's just draw it in the top left. That's the easiest place to draw it. 100, it's debug drawing anyway. We'll set positions soon, and then the length, like 100. Okay, let's see if this works. This is like how to get. This is like actually productive use. 50 minutes we're just like getting textures into the game, not freaking using WordPad and it being unable to even draw fonts that are part of Windows. Okay. That pissed me off so much yesterday. Okay, 81. Use of undeclared identifier text start game. Because we labeled this, I thought it was like Control X U. No, is it MXU? Okay, there we go. Okay, 273 undeclared identifier text start game. Oh, it won't know what this line is. Actually, no. This should be uppercase because the text itself is uppercase. This just means that we'll need to make this uppercase. Oh, I'm thirsty. Instructions game width not identified. Yeah, because we commented it out. So where are we calling this? 295. Okay. I need to use local variable. Yeah, we haven't done that either. Here's the U40, the U64 stuff we predicted would happen. Okay, so what's the issue here? The expected signed integer type found U64. Oh, truncate only works for signed stuff? Really? What does Raylib want here in get image color? Get image. I mean, is this not a... Oh, I don't even know if this is a U32 or an I32. From memory, it's an I32, right? Or... Oh, good grief! I don't know. But it's rather like truncate itself is expecting something signed. Like what? In either case, there's a type called cin, so I think we just need to cast to that. No, it's like c underscore in, right? Yeah. Oh, so if there's cu in, then default cin must be typed, must be signed. Okay. Let's deal with that then. So, I guess we can do like as cin truncate this. This is nasty. You know, this is already too complicated. This is unnecessary complication. Our comptine header parser contains exactly this information, so let's just use that instead. So we just want text start game image text start game header dot image width, and likewise text start game header image height. Like including image height in here feels really silly. I want to this is unnecessary. It should just be called width and height. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Just using it here feels silly, that's all. Because like, of course this is the height and width of it. Back to compiling. Okay, what now? No, what? 642. Parameter type declared here, reference to texture. Oh, no. I guess we didn't take the reference of the texture when we were drawing it here. Hopefully that's it. What's the diff noob here? Okay, and it's working. I can see start game being drawn here. Fantastic. So now let's actually get the start game being drawn here onto this button. So yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Hey, yeah. I get like Wizard Saint Joe. Yeah. Could you yeah, or I could just say Joe. Yeah, do you know where like I guess like what do you mean by diff? Could you ask your question a bit more like specifically? Because yeah, like diff in Git is like different from other diffs everywhere. But yeah, okay. And yeah, thanks as well for hopping on this stream. This is like a way more productive stream than last night. Last night was so frustrating. Okay. So we need to get this rendering in the menu. So if we do like, was it draw texture? So let's move this to the main menu part in here. Yeah, to do add text to main menu buttons. Well, this is what we're doing right now. So get one. And then we need to position this. So how are we going to do this part? Okay, if we make the position that we draw this, just the position of the button, so I think it's just called menu handcrafted button, which we should change this. Menu handcrafted button dot pos, and then change the width here from 100 to menu handcrafted button dot width. When we compile this again, we should actually get it drawing on top of the button now and have somewhat of a reasonable width. Oh, okay, this is not a reasonable width. This is really huge height. Why is it getting drawn so large here? Is it because we're actually like specifying the height instead of the width? I think so. Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, super wide. Yeah, QUI. Yeah, this QUI file is QUI format is an image format, and it's an image format that is actually understandable. So, oh, sorry, kitty. So the QUI specification is literally this. The specification is just a page. It can be read in 10 minutes. It can be understood in a couple of hours. On a previous stream, I wrote a decoder for this across several streams, but the sum total of them was about 5 hours. This is completely and utterly different to something like the PNG specification, where, you know, if you have a look at this, Wow, doesn't this look like something that you can read and understand in a couple of hours? No, it would take days to understand it. And write like a decoder for this in a couple of hours. No, it would take weeks to write a decoder in this. So in all of my projects going forward, everything is just going to be QI from now on. It's yeah, this is actually sustainable. Like it's a sustainable format that I can understand in my head, other people can understand in their heads, easily do stuff between. So yeah, I refuse to use PNGs and JPEGs and stuff from now on. Yeah, for me it's like a hard line in the sand. And also as well, I did an experiment in a previous project where I tried loading a bunch of this was in this like butterfly app where we created a timing test. This was an app that has a bunch of images of butterflies and yeah, like I kind of timed how long it took to decode these, and yeah, the QI decoded significantly faster than PNG, kind of as expected. However, the PNG is slightly better at compression, but really not that much. And honestly, like this 4 MB here doesn't really make any kind of difference to the app. So I was like, yeah, let's just increase the size by like 4 MB and just make the load time significantly faster. It was an easy trade-off to make. Yeah, I get very very angry with regards to yeah these image files anyway. Okay, so button wise, what are we going to do with this? This already seems really big, and I want to make it slightly smaller. Okay, and I feel that the size of the button should really be determined by what? Yeah, like open question. How do we determine sizes to draw this stuff? Okay, so I think we do the following. We determine like what we want the width of the button to be. And then we just like choose the height. And then we'll have to choose the width of the button to be something that's like slightly larger than the width of this text. And so okay, let's jump to this part of the code. So when we do this, all of this happened in this calculate geometry step, where we're doing so much is happening in this procedure. Okay, all of these grid calculations, tiles. Okay, here's the part we want, these menu buttons. So, so we want to replace all of this. We also want to replace this like menu handcrafted button here. This should really just say something like start game and instructions. Let's go ahead and replace all of that. So if we do like menu button handcrafted, where do we set this? We set it actually up here. yeah, left, right, menu return, reset. Okay, so let's break this down further. We can just say puzzle game buttons, and then we can just say menu buttons, and then we'll keep these menu button defaults, but now we want start game button, and then we can say instructions button, and we'll also make this the menu button defaults. Okay, and now now we can start doing stuff with these. So let's just start game button instructions. We need to calculate the width of and height of all of this stuff. So when I say start game width is what? Why don't we just make it like 75% of the screen width to start with? And yeah, this is like the important game is the one that comes after this. So this doesn't matter too much at this moment, but it still is an important problem to think about. So how to do this in general, and then okay, now like the height is important to set as well. Start game height. We're going to want this to be constant relative to the height of the actual text here, though. Maybe I'm really going about this the wrong way. Like it's something where how does this work? Like what's the first thing to actually set? Like I'm now thinking the most like I feel like several calculations will have to happen at once that all involve each other before something's actually set. I'm not sure we can just do this linearly. Like for something like this, the aspect ratio is fine, but then, and even like this, it's fine. It's still fine here, but then eventually it comes to a point where it will shrink like here, and then the actual size of it would need to come down. Yeah, like what's... This is like a harder conceptual problem than I thought. This isn't... Like an easy way to go about this would be to make everything constant, but I don't want to do that. This should be dynamic, just the question is how. I guess like any ideas? Okay, so maybe it's something like the following. At most, the width of the text should occupy 80% of this screen. And then, if it doesn't, that's okay. Calculate what the actual width it occupies will be. Then set the height to be like the appropriate ratio. Okay. I think this would. Let's just write in English what's going to happen, and then we'll figure that out in code, because even conceptually I'm still stuck on this. So we want to say okay, yeah, there's two limiting factors. Like we don't want the text to like take up the entire screen, and that would happen if the height is too high. But then we also don't want it going off the screen like in this, because it's too wide. And so we want to bound the text by, we want to have some height bound and some width bound. And then we'll want to take some minimum of these things. So you could say, okay, bounds on the text. Text should not take up more than 80% of the screen width. 2, we want to limit its height. Text height should not be more than well, what? Is even 10% too much? Let's just say 10% of the screen height. Okay. Let's just create some bounds for these then. Text width bound is therefore 0.8 times the screen width. And then the text height bound is 0.1 times the screen height. Okay, and then we simply want, okay, so now we have these bounds. What do we do with them? We want to say, we have to specify something. So we could say maybe like setting 1 might, like, if we set the text height like to be this, for example, that might make the actual width of the text be too large. Could the other thing possibly happen, like if the text is actually like at the 80% level, could that make the text height too hard? Yeah, that could do it as well. So we want to take some minimum. Like when this is written out, the formula will be so simple. Just getting to this point, it's not easy. Yeah, this is ultimately just a question about adding borders, adding buffers to rectangles. Okay, so again, what's the idea? So it's just It's like adding borders to rectangles, but making the rectangle large enough as well. Okay, so maybe maybe we do the following. We just, yeah, we calculate, okay, we've calculated the maximum width the text could be. We've calculated the maximum height the text could be. We can convert this ratio here into a corresponding text width ratio, and then we just take the minimum of the two. And then the minimum should be, okay, the minimum could be what it could be the answer. But likewise, the text width, when we calculate the corresponding height, could be too large. So then, okay, we're taking like minimums of minimums of minimums here. Okay, so we should say max width, the max text width is equal to this thing. Okay, and then we could say max text height is equal to this thing. Okay, and now we need to like choose minimums of the, we need to like convert these and choose minimums. Now we want to say, we need a ratio first. Start game width to height ratio is going to be, what even is this? Text start game. We need to like convert these to floats now. That's fine. Okay, so basically like as, no, how do we convert floats in Odin again? It's like float from int, I think. Float from int, yep. Float from, this is an F32, and it's going to equal float from int. The text start game width divided by float from int. Text start game height. Okay. Now we've got this ratio, we can convert these maximum heights to. No. Before we do more code, let's just write out the actual logic. So I just want to. So we can say the maximum width may correspond to a height that is too large. Similarly, the maximum height might correspond. Okay. Might correspond. Yeah, I finished this sentence. Correspond to a maximum width. Could it be the case that like both of these maxes clash in some way? This is like this is really non-trivial. This is way harder than I was thinking it would be. I mean, everything's hard the first time you think about it. This is hard, okay. I feel like it's time to draw diagrams. Yeah, let's just do it. It's easier when we draw a diagram. Yeah, this is hard to reason with. Just create anything. Yeah, it's fine, whatever. Okay, so what are we trying to do? We're trying to say, just pencil. Where's pencil? Here, fine. This is too big now. Something small. Great. Okay. So like, screen 1 option, screen 2 option. Okay, so we want this to be like reasonably large. In a case like this, but then kind of like small in a case like this. But we also don't want it to be huge. Like we don't want it to be like, if the screen is like super wide like this, we don't want the button to literally be that big. So a case like this, we would go, the height here is too big. Make it like 10%. The height here is greater than the 10%. In like a case like okay, and then what's the corresponding 80%? We need this one again. Okay, so in something like this, when we do the 80%, and we'll make this like clearly 80%. The height here now exceeds 10%, which is a fail. Not good. In something like this scenario, maybe when the height is 10%, the width is, when the height here is 10%, the width is way bigger than 80%, which is not allowed. Like this is exactly this scenario right here. So what we want to do is what? We have to like, we have to pick some sensible size. And so maybe the first step in doing it is actually is to try this one. Like try setting the width to be 80% and then examining this. If the height is too large, that's okay. Minimize it, make it smaller, and then making this smaller will not exceed the 80%. So then whatever we get after shrinking this, it will still be the right size. And maybe we need to actually shrink down that to 10%. That's fine. It's now the limit. If at 80% this is already less than 10%, great. Problem solved. And likewise over here. Okay, so let's... Okay. Drawing a diagram is always the way to go. I don't know why I didn't do this immediately. Okay. Now I need to charge my iPad. Okay. Yeah, that was like some first year physics class I took. The professor said, like, we've done some research and found that students who like draw diagrams in exams, like on average get like 10% better scores. And it's like, yeah, when you draw it, you actually understand what's happening. This is just the equivalent of just like writing the physics equations without having no idea what's happening. This was a fail. Okay, let's just. I kind of want to just delete all of this. Yeah, we just delete all of it. We'll delete it. This stuff we'll need to. Yeah, these are the stuff we need to set this stuff. Set. What are the names of these? Where do we actually define these buttons? Start game button and instructions button. Start game button and instructions button, positions, widths, etc. Okay. Okay, and I might just say start game button dot pause is equal to something. Okay. Let's actually figure out what all of this stuff is. Okay, so yeah, menu button calculations. So we want to say, try setting the width of the buttons to 80% screen width. If the corresponding height, text height, is greater than 10%, shrink so that its height is 10%. Yeah, this is all we need to do. Okay, this is so much simpler. I knew the formula would be really easy when we figured it out. Okay, so now we just want to say, keep in this max text width, and then say, we need to do this. We need to like find the ratio in the length of this stuff. So now we go. Now we do. More like conversion stuff needed. We're going to get two different ratios as well. So we can say start game, text start game ratio is equal to something, and then const text instructions ratio is equal to something as well. What is this? Well, this is the float from int. And this is a an F32. There's no reason why this can't be an F64. It's fine. Float. It's happening at compile time anyway, I think. Well, we can make this happen at compile time. No, we'll leave it. Well, yeah. Okay, we'll make this happen at compile time. Yep. As that, the actual whatever this is, text start game width divided by the text start game height. Likewise, the instructions ratio is basically the same. It's just now we want to replace start game with instructions. Okay, and then now we can actually do these calculations. So now we say, well, let's compare what the height would be of the start game text. So we could say variable start game it's really the button heights that we care about now. So start game button height is equal to let's change around this ratio so that it's so that the mathematics is a bit easier. We just want the even start game ratio is it's fine just to let this be called start game ratio. Start game ratio times the max text width. And now we want to do the comparison and see if this is too big, otherwise we'll shrink it. So now we just want to say this is a variable. This button height is then going to equal the minimum of whatever it was, and 0.1 times the screen. Why is brush spacing appearing here? Go away. 0. Was this Emacs doing this? Minimize it. Well, we figured out what to do. We can get rid of this. 0.1 times times the height, times the screen. Is it actually the minimum? It's not the minimum. We just maybe it's just an if statement actually. Yeah, I think it is. It's just if the start game button height is greater than I knew we would need both of these, and I didn't use it. Yeah, if the button height is greater than the max text height, then simply set the simply set this button height to be equal to the max text height. Okay. Okay, and then in such a case, we also need to modify we'll need actually, regardless of this, we'll need to compute what the button width is. So now I can just say constant start game button width is equal to what? Let's get this, remind ourselves what's happening. It's now equal to the, we have to like divide, we have to do the ratio division now. Start game button height divided by the start game ratio, since this ratio is the height to the width ratio. Okay, now I've got the width, and so now we want to actually just set the buttons to be this. So yeah, so now we can say, oh, we should just like choose positions and everything as well. So the positions of these really may be determined by their heights. Okay, so this entire calculation I did was assuming that the length of start game is, we'll worry about adding in the next button later. Let's just get one button working. Add in instructions, yeah, button. Okay. Let's just make this position in the center of the screen. So 0.5 times the screen width, 0.5 times the screen height. And then we need to set the width of everything. Start game button width is equal to start game button width. And then we need to render this. So now jump back to the render menu part. Button render border direct. Start game. I've immediately forgotten what the button was called. Is it just like start game button? Hopefully. And then start game button pause. Start game button height. Okay, let's give all of this a go. I can get rid of this one too. Okay, compiler errors. 391, no such thing as screen height. Yeah. And then 473. Mouse pause, menu handcrafted button, no. Okay, these buttons should be have menu at the start of them. So we'll say menu start game button. Okay. Let's just replace all of this. Start game button. Menu start game button. Menu. Well, I don't know. It's kind of clear from their name, I think, that the start game button will appear in the menu. Yeah, there's no need to rename that. Let's call it start game button. More like menu handcrafted button hovering. No, this is just start game button hovering. Let's just like check for more handcrafted button instances before the compiler finds them. Okay. Type error, expected F32 found F64. That's fine. We'll just convert these to F32 then. Okay, and the size of this is now behaving. It is exactly matching the button. Hurrah! Okay, and yeah, great. In this experiment where it's like super wide, it's not getting too large. It's not wrapping over the screen. Okay, let's save what we've done so far since this is working. This is good progress. Okay, well, added lots of stuff and deleted lots of stuff indeed. So yeah, what's happening here? Yeah, got start game button rendering. Great. Let's push it to the cloud. Okay, and now we'll go back to changing some of the details. Yeah, some of the details around this, and yeah, in particular, I think we want the button width to be slightly larger to give it some space, as well as the height to be slightly larger. Okay, so yeah, let's do that now, and then then afterwards we'll import the instructions button image information. Okay, so yeah, so with all of these, we've really determined calling this start game button height is a bit deceptive. This is really like start game text height that we want, and the text height. So yeah, so let's say the text height is the start game ratio times the maximum text width. If this text height is too bad, do that. Okay, and then for this part, we want to add in some space. So the start game text width is going to be this. So then we can say the start game. Let's add in like a buffer. Say like button spacing. Start game button height is equal to this we will want to do a percentage of. So maybe this is like 10% larger than the start game text height. And then likewise, we want this like we want like we want the spacing to be the same on the borders. So then we could say the start game button width is equal to okay, let's just make a constant code buffer. Button buffer is equal to 0.1 times the start game text height. Then we can just say the okay. Then we can say the button height we want is the start game times two lots of of the button, the text button buffer. And then the button width is going to be start game text width, as well as two of these buffers. Okay, let's compile this. Make sure there's actually some spacing around this button. Oh dear, not exactly what I had in plan. What did we just do? Okay, so the texture is getting drawn at the size. Yeah, so from memory, the texture gets drawn using this like button from the button width, which we want to change, number one, and then number two. Well, maybe that is just the problem. In such a case, we want to save one of these as a global. We want to save this like text, this start game text height as a constant, so that when we draw it, we can actually draw it at the correct size. Okay. Okay, so well, maybe it's even okay just to set a struct that contains this information in a similar way that we had a struct for all of the grid geometry. No, this feels like too much. This feels unnecessary. Kind of is a part of this screen geometry though. I might just make one called menu button geometry. Menu button geometry. Okay, variable start game text height is f32. We'll make it undefined to begin with. Yeah, so then we do it here, set it, then make these game buttons and heights slightly larger, and then when we actually draw these with draw texture, we no longer want to use the start. We do want to draw this at start game button position, but the height we now want to use start game, or is it text start game height. Okay, let's try this then. Let's go. Better, but now this is tiny. It's okay there, and it's completely and utterly tiny here. We're getting there. We are on the way. Yeah, we know this is what we're doing. Draw start game button. to do draw instructions. Okay. Okay. Let's get back to setting this text height to be correct. Yeah, we do need to pass in the height for this draw texture. So what did we just do? Why did we stuff this up? Was it because we like set it before we what happened? Yeah, why is this so tiny now all of a sudden? Oh, it's because yeah, what? I don't understand. Why is this suddenly so small? We've set it. This is a global. Like if it's too big, just set it to that. This is happening in calculate geometry. Wait, what? Where's this bug coming from? Maybe like changing the width of this will help. Okay, so the width is almost correct when the rectangle is really wide, and then seems to be fine there. Oh wait, it almost looks constant. Why would the height of this be constant almost? It's not really increasing at all. What did we just do? Set this global to be this thing. And then if it's big, just reset it to be something else. And then why am I not going to the render part? Start game. Am I just not calling this in render? I could have sworn I did. I think it's because I was setting it to be the height of the QOI file. Yeah, start game text height. The bug is surely solved now. That was silly. Okay, kind of solved, but not solved in that we need to increase the buffer. Okay, where's the where is the buffer part? Let's make this buffer like 2 instead. And while we're at it, let's just make the game launch in the menu instead of the puzzle. Game mode, puzzles handcrafted. I think we just want game mode equals menu. Doesn't understand what menu is? Come on. What did I even call this? Game mode. Main menu. Okay. Main menu. Okay. I fooled myself into thinking tonight like I'd be able to finish the menu. That's not the case. Okay. Another time is gonna have to happen. Okay. But yeah, I'm kind of happy-ish with this now. This is now not wrapping off the screen. The size isn't totally ridiculous. So that's the 80%. When we make it like super wide, it doesn't go to 80% of that. It's still like 10%. You can click on it, it works. I want to increase the buffer a bit. It still looks a bit too constrained. We multiply this by 1 point. What's the button buffer? Maybe 0.3 is better. Even so, I want it to be even more. This still looks a bit too... Well, actually, maybe this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, let's save this. Added a buffer spacing to start game button. Okay. Now let's add in the instructions button. So start game button. We do have our instructions button now. And then we're gonna have to set width stuff around this one as well. Yeah, I feel like once we add in this button, we'll call it for the night. I'm getting hungry. I need to cook. I need to get dinner. I might get a food delivery. So we want the height of these buttons to be consistent. So we'll use the start game text height as the standard. Use start game text height as like the height of all main menu buttons. But in such a case, we'll need to calculate this instructions ratio. So now we want this to be, just for consistency, using the mouse like that felt weird. Yuck. Same like this, and then what then? We then just need to calculate the, once we do this, we can also say instructions text height is just going to equal the start game text height. Then we do this calculation here. Likewise, we say start game. This is a constant then, so not a global. Then we want to say instructions. Instructions text width is equal to start game. Okay, it is the same as the start game, but really the instructions text width divided by the instructions ratio, and then we want to do some similar calculations here. Here we should really just replace start game with instructions. And then really we're kind of doing this stuff here. Okay, and now we can actually add in instructions button dot pos is equal to, okay, yeah, now we need to correctly think about how to do these button positions. So given the height of all of these are the same, let's just make the spacing between them be equal to, let's bring up our sketch pad, new whatever. We'll like align these in the center, and then button 1 will be here, button 2 will be here, and we just want like the height of all of these parts to be the same. These are all the same. So then, once we find the center of the screen, we just add on 1.5 to get the vertical positions. Add or subtract 1.5. So this position up here will actually be half of this screen width minus 1.5 times the height. The start game button. Yeah, the start game button height. And then likewise, this one down here will have instructions button will have that as the position. And then we can clean this up. There's like an overuse of variables here, but we'll clean this up later. let's just get stuff on the screen. Yeah, instructions. We can we know a better way of doing this with Emacs. And likewise, it would have been faster for me to search and replace it. Zig build run. Oh, what's this? Conversion errors. Of course. 397. Use of undeclared identified text instructions height. Oh, that's because we commented this out and forgot to revive it. And then I think we need to uncomment this one. And then presumably, yeah, we need to uncomment all of this as well. Okay. 85. Undeclared identified text instructions. Yeah. Because really this should be text instructions. And then have we uncommented everything needed? Maybe not. 406. Instructions text width is not known. Right, I guess we haven't set this. Oh, no, it's just the instructions text height is what we want to divide by the ratio. Okay. 421. Expected F32 found X64. Oh, did I not? I literally made like the same mistake twice. Well, this we uncommented this line and we fixed it. We fixed the bug after we had uncommented it. Okay, the spacing seems to be correct. Actually, it doesn't. This isn't. This seems to be really high up. I don't think it should be this high. What are we doing in the position calculation again? And yeah, we need to actually render the other button. We'll do that eventually. Oh. If I had kept the diagram up, I think we would have realized we need to just move this up by 1, not by 1.5. Okay. In either case, let's actually get the other button rendering. Oh, we need to do like the hover information as well. I saved these Emacs buffers and they seem to override them. Is it like calculate geometry? Yeah. I don't know. That's what we just did. We need to do the process input update states for the menu button stuff. So we do this for the start game button, and then we also want to set the hover status for the instructions button. Oh, I guess this is a to-do we'll do next time, but if we need to do like, clicking on the instructions button, transitions. Oh, I cannot seem to type this evening. Transitions to the instruction screen. Oh, we got there. So yeah, we'll do that. Let's add this to the very top. We'll really just like make instructions screen biggest priority for next time. And then with regards to the main, yeah, we've set that stuff. We now need to draw the instructions button. So now, in a similar way, we want to we just want to draw that button corresponding to it, draw its texture. Ooh, the height is different though. Since the height is the same, I should have pressed no for that one. We still, this is gonna have the same height since this is a constant, and we'll update the name later. Yeah, we should really set the name now. Wait, come on. Sig. Text instructions texture unknown. Did we not set it? Did we not write it beforehand and then uncommented? I guess we didn't. Okay, yeah. Instructions texture is here, and then we set that here. And so similarly, we want to do instructions game text. And why is this called like text start game texture? It should really just be called start game texture. Like that's kind of obvious. Instructions texture. Raylib dot the same thing, but now this is instructions image, and then we'll need to actually fill in the instructions image. So now I should just be able to replace all of this, right? Undeclared identifier instructions image. First of all, let's change like this texture name. start game texture, instruction texture. Yeah, get rid of this. Start game texture, instructions texture. Okay. Use of undercloud identify instructions image. Did we not make like instructions image at some stage? Oh, maybe we did leave that as a to-do. No. No, now I'm remembering there was something we needed to do. Okay, if we go back to image draw pixel, where did we set the default for? When did we initialize this one? So we initialized this in the start game image, and oh, there it is. Okay. All we need to do was uncomment in here. So yeah. Okay. Hopefully it now builds. This was a lot of stuff to uncomment. Come on. Is instructions image not here? I don't get it. Instructions image is here. Is this not a... Did I not set this to be... Oh, we weren't finished with the uncommenting. We better have now. No, more uncommenting needed apparently. How much uncommenting do we need to do? This is totally wild. Instructions. No, instructions game width is. Wait, really? No. Oh, this is before we. That was before we replaced it again. Replace. Oh, but now we want to get rid of the text in front of. No, I think maybe we're fine. Okay, great. Working, but okay, instructions is actually larger, so really this should be the one that we're doing the 80% on. We may as well do it now. No time like the present. Okay, but yeah, this is good progress. So yeah, start menu text height, start game text height. Instead of this, we'll just do like menu text height is what we actually want to set all of these to. So try setting the width of the longest button, which is instructions. So 80% screen width, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we have Yeah, these ratios are fine. We want to keep these. And then this is the part there's a couple of things we want to adjust. So we want to now call this global just like menu text height instead. And then, okay, how do we calculate this? So we say this menu text menu text height is going to equal the instructions ratio times the max text width. Then the menu text height is greater than the max text height. Set that. Okay, and now from this point on, we no longer need instructions text height nor game text height, since we now have a constant for each of these. Menu text height, and likewise menu text height. And then the start game button height is just the menu text height. Okay, let's rearrange these into just all of the heights. So yeah, so we do these widths first. Align those. Yeah, adjust. Yeah, the width of these is these plus the buffer, and the instructions height is the menu text height plus two of these buffers. Then the height, those heights are legit, those are fine. It's just now when we're actually drawing these textures, do we need to use menu text height instead? Okay, let's test it out. What's this? 420. Undeclared identifier start game text height. Yeah, this is that to be the menu text height. Okay, good. This is now no longer occupying the entire width of the screen in this case. This is a little bit larger than I would like. This looks really huge. But maybe that's fine. Maybe people want to play it big, and then they can. He looks like a V, like instructions, but no, it is a U. Yeah, I think tonight we'll call it here. Yeah, we now have buttons that are drawn that draw text, and Um, getting the text there was a trial by fire, but we got there. And then they're now positioned reasonably. And yeah, one of them works. The other one will create the screen for. But yeah, otherwise. Ooh, actually, there's another to do we want to do. For the very first and the final puzzle, we want to get rid of this backwards arrow. There's no need for that. Let's add that in the to do. This is really easy actually. We can do this first time next time. Make backwards, make relevant arrows disappear for first and last levels. Okay. It's so nice to be able to solve this by just like right clicking. This is every grid-based puzzle should be. It should be possible to solve every grid-based puzzle like this. Please, just the people who like can move mice really quickly. Just yeah, chain. That's what we want to do. But yeah. Yeah, let's save this and call it a night. Oh yeah, tomorrow it's gonna be no streaming this weekend. Going to a Broadway show. Going to an Oscars watch party. Non-gaming things happening. But the week after will be the week in, well, likely the week in which we finish this app and start the cube game. So yeah, this was lots of changes. Git status here. Git commit. Yeah, added instructions button to the instructions button to the main menu. Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. Super nice to see you too, Joe. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, next week progress on this game will continue, and hopefully it will be done next week. I am so excited to start this cube game. It's going to be really dope. If it's not dope, it's because there's some like UI thing that I'm not getting right. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good game. Bye everyone.